Hello, all you positive heads out there. It is so good to be back with all you beautiful reflections of the one source consciousness that creates and animates all things. If you're new to this podcast, of course, we are super happy to have you here, and we just ask that you bring an open heart and open mind to your listening experience and to be prepared to explore vantage points that I'm convinced will help shift or solidify your current understanding of the ultimate nature of reality in a way that is extremely empowering. Speaking of exploring powerful perspectives, I'm super excited to announce that on January 18th, originally January 5th, but I needed to push it back a bit, I'm going to be freely gifting each of you my very first book, The Golden Key: Modern Alchemy to Unlock Infinite Abundance. In the book, which was initially shown to me in a dream and has been followed by a next level amount of synchronicity, by the way, I share the keys to manifesting abundance that I've personally discovered over 20 plus years of trial, error, and deep exploration of these perspectives, as well as one golden key that ultimately ties them all together. Also, I would like to invite you to participate in a unique abundance manifestation game with me and the other readers that is outlined in detail at the end of the book and at the book's website, goldenkey.gift, where readers will also share the inspiring results of their abundance manifestation experiments. So if you're wanting 2021 to be the year that you alchemize the circumstances in your life so that your abundance expands to an entirely new level, head over to goldenkey.gift to sign up to accept my golden gift to you right when it comes out.
All right, all you positive heads, welcome. Welcome one and all, new and old. I am so grateful that you have joined me today. Today, so many things have been coming up, and what's interesting, I feel like they're all kind of tying in, and so it's all like perfectly planned. I got a really good question from a listener just a few days ago, and today seemed like the perfect day to talk about it. And also today, I had a QHHT session with a client, and it seems as though his session just ties right in very nicely to this question. And I just have to say, my heart goes out to all of you who have had difficult lives. And I know that all of us have not had it easy. There's not a single one of us that doesn't get through this life with some sort of trauma. But when I hear stories from people who have had it so much worse than me, and trust me, I've been through my fair share, but there's so much worse. There's always so much worse. And I hear these stories, and it really helps me put my perspective back into a place of gratitude. Because no matter how hard or how difficult my life may seem at the moment, there is always somebody out there who has it worse. And there's somebody out there who has it way worse, and way worse than that even, you know? And when we can really remember that and think about how much we have and how much we can be grateful for, it really changes the game. It really shifts our perspective. And these times that we're going through are difficult. And who knows if they're going to get easier or if they're going to get harder. But the best way for us to get through any difficult time is to shift our perspective. It's really all about how we are looking at things. And I'll tell you what, I've never met a single person who I've worked with, or even talked to, who I don't think that they can handle what life has presented to them. And what I mean by that is we have all chosen these life circumstances and things and experiences for us to learn. And sometimes it makes no sense. And we ask, why? Why did I have to choose something so incredibly difficult? I don't understand it, and I don't even want to do it. It's so hard. But I know when I see that person who is having such a difficult time, what I see is a brave warrior, a brave soul who came to this earth to help others And in order to do that, they themselves had to experience those things that they were then going to help others with. Because without having that experience and that knowledge, they were less capable of helping others. And since those people really needed it, they volunteered to come and take on this really, really hard job and to learn these really, really hard lessons. And so that is a brave soul. This man I saw today is such a beautiful, brave soul, such a huge, huge heart. He actually came in, born into this life with an enlarged heart. Of course he did, because he has such a big heart. He chose such a difficult life in order for him to serve in the best way possible. And while it's difficult to understand in the moment going through it, the grander perspective from that bird's eye view, you can understand it quite a bit more from that view. And it takes a little time to get to that place often. It takes a whole lot of patience. And that's what his main advice was in his session, was patience. They told him, this is the way it has to be. This is what essentially you chose in order for you to learn in this way. And so you chose it to be this way. This is the way it has to be. And have a little patience. You will see. You will see. We always will find out. That patience is huge. Patience with ourselves, patience with the process, patience with the world, patience with others, patience with this whole journey. It's not easy to have patience when you just want to go from point A to point Z and not have to deal with all the crap in the middle. All the crap in the middle is the meat and it's the good stuff. And so it's important to go through it. We can't just jump from point A to point Z. And so often my clients are told that this is your work to do, that they can't do it for us. We need to look within, find the answers within ourselves, because that is where the answers always are. They do not come from anywhere else. They come from within. The true answers come from within. We get maybe little glimmers or things that come to us that help us understand, but this understanding happens from within, always. And so I think this leads me to the question today. And so this question came in from Hannah, and I am just going to skip down a little bit from her message and leave out some of the personal stuff that she wrote me, but just read the question. She says, so I feel like I've been in such a dilemma for the past couple of years now since my awakening in regards to getting a coach or a mentor. I feel like I don't know where to start and it's almost overwhelming. Actually, it is overwhelming. LOL. I want to find someone, but I feel like these things hold me back. 1, there are so many options, it's overwhelming. 2, the fact that I may start paying someone and then I end up not resonating or getting what I had hoped for out of it, and then feel like I, quote, wasted the money. And 3, I for some reason feel like I need someone that can help me work through a checklist of things. For example, single mom, domestic violence survivor, I'm a child to an alcoholic mother and a loud, aggressive father, and I have adult ADHD. I'm sure a different mindset would help, but for some reason, I'm having a hard time getting my butt in gear, and it's hard for me to get started and actually go for it. It's like when a task becomes too overwhelming, I just end up doing nothing about it. It makes no sense and usually only makes the task even harder to accomplish. AKA, another thing I need help working through, LOL. Like this, and sending you this email has taken me months. Literally, it started months ago and I got overwhelmed and just stopped. I know I've heard people talk about how they manifested certain friends or mentors into their life at the perfect times. And I want that to happen for me. But at this point, I feel like maybe a part of my lesson is to put in some elbow grease to get a mentor, because I felt very alone and in need for support for a couple years now. And so far, I haven't just had one show up on my doorstep. LOL. I'm sure that me going through things alone has served its purpose and was all part of a divine plan, but I don't think I have to keep doing it that way. Also, how does one get help when they don't have the money? But part of not having the money is because, from my understanding, that you need to have a different mindset and a different relationship with money. How can one get a different relationship with money if they literally don't have the money to get the help? I have some money now, which is another reason why I'm finally trying to seek out some help. But before, this was my biggest dilemma. So I guess I'm kind of asking for other people who may be in a similar situation now, to where they want and need help, but feel like they can't afford it. How do you change your money mindset when you don't have the money to pay for someone to help you do that? Hopefully that made sense. So any advice, Erica? I'd love to hear your take on these questions. Thank you so much and love always. Oh, Hannah, thank you so much for reaching out. I just absolutely love this question, and it absolutely applies to so many people. I'm sure you're not the first person I've heard ask this question. And what I love about this, actually, Hannah, is that this question came through at the most appropriate time in order for me to actually answer it, right? If you had sent this email months ago, I might not have been in the space where I was like, yeah, that's a great topic for today. You know, I pick the things that really resonate with what's going on right now in my space. That's my dog. Sorry about that. But I pick the space right now, and that's it. I just go with the now. And now this was perfect. And so I thank you for listening to that inner voice within you to finally get it done and send it, because it's perfect. It's perfect. And I'm very grateful. Thank you for co-creating this show with me today, Hannah. And so let's see, where do we start? Finding a coach or a mentor. So I feel ya, you know, they're supposed to just show up. The teacher shows up when the student is ready, right? Okay. So if the teacher's not showing up yet, have you asked yourself, are you ready for that teacher? And that's okay if you're not, right? Sometimes the teacher, the right teacher, will come only when the student has done the appropriate amount of work. And it sounds like you have done a good amount of work, but maybe there's more work to do. And that's okay. Because I feel like personally, the best work that we can do is the work that we do with ourselves every day on a daily basis. It's that personal work that we take the time, make the space, make the effort to put in that self-care, that self-nourishment, that learning process for ourselves, that we set that all into place. And we can do a lot of this by ourselves too, because there's so much out there. And so I'll tell you, in my own journey, the way I found the teachers that I liked, I found them online. I read their books. And those ones that I resonated with the most, those are the ones who I kept listening to. It was all free. Every single one of those teachers and things online was totally free. And I learned a lot doing that. And when I felt like I needed a little bit of extra help, somehow, some way, yeah, someone just kind of came in my space and it was like, perfect, thank you. I need this little bit of help. But I feel like it only came because I was doing so much of the work myself. And I feel like a lot of times we can get really caught up in, I need help. We all need help, but I want everyone to know that that help is also within you. We have so much divine guidance, celestial help, guides, our higher self, source itself is always with us, guiding us, helping us. And I think that we just forget that. We forget how much innate help we have. And if we remember that, it's even easier to help ourselves because we have this strong force behind us. And speaking of the force, for any of you Star Wars fans out there, and honestly, I have to say, recently Star Wars has come into my awareness a whole lot more, but we all know about Yoda And I know Brandon talks about this, but there is no try, right? There is only do. And this came up today in my awareness in my session, because oftentimes when people aren't either seeing or feeling or sensing anything, a lot of times what I hear is, I'm trying, but nothing is coming. And my response is, stop trying. I don't want you to try. I don't want you to do anything. You just get out of the way. You trying and you trying to do is actually what is preventing you from the doing. And that's what Yoda meant. He didn't mean stop trying and then you'll do. No, he meant stop trying to do it and then it will just automatically be done. Because you are it. You are that force. That's what you're made up of. And that trying to do is just that resistance in the field preventing the force from flowing. And I think that's just a really beautiful way to think about it. If I just stop trying so hard and putting up these walls of resistance and just flowing with whatever life is presenting to me at the time, it may be a little easier. And things will unfold. Things will unfold that way a whole lot easier because the resistance isn't there. And that works with money too. It's the same kind of thing. It's like the resistance with money is the feeling of I don't have enough. And the more we affirm to ourselves that this isn't enough and I don't have enough and there's not enough money, then the more there's not enough, right? And this is something that I've definitely gone through some struggles with in my life. And the way that I look at money, and, I'm thinking of something I heard Elon Musk say the other day, which is, he said, essentially, what is money? Money is an entry in a database. So yeah, money is an entry in a database. So if everything is energy, and I can just put energy into a database, why don't I choose to put energy into the right database, right? So I'm going to put energy into this abundance database that I know exists for me when I am flowing with my purpose and doing what I came here to do. I can trust and know that the universe will then provide for me. That's the way I've lived my whole life, knowing if I just do my purpose, if I just do what I came here to do and I stay in integrity and I do that, then the universe will provide for me. And sometimes it gets a little scary, but it always works out. It always works out. And I've been doing this for a long time. It always works out because the universe will provide. And so we just need to shift our perspective in the way we think about money. Sometimes we have a negative idea of money. And that's normal. But if we can shift our perspective and think about money as just another tool to get you to the place where you would like to be for one reason or another, because a lot of times that's helping others. And that's such a beautiful thing. So many of us want to make more money so we have the money to help others. And I feel like when that is the intention and that is the goal, and we can get out of our way and just flow with it, and if it's supposed to happen and we're in our right purpose, then it will. The universe will provide. And a lot of times too, with money and abundance, a lot of it comes down to, yes, how we value ourselves, our own self-worth, and what we feel like we deserve, So again, it's a shift in how we think, how we perceive, and an entry in to our abundance database. I really like thinking about it like that, is that if I'm going to put my energy somewhere, I'm going to put it in abundance. I'm not going to put it in lack. If I just constantly am thinking about the lack, that's where I'm filling up the database. And that's not what I want to do. I want to put it in the abundance space. And sometimes I need to trick myself and tell myself that story, even though it might not look true. But the more I can hold that energy and that feeling of, yeah, I know I'm provided for and I am abundant no matter what that number looks like in that database. That energy fills that database. Or in other words, how are we directing our force? In which direction are we directing our force, our energy, our power? this is what directs our life. And so it's important for us to really be cognizant, aware of our perspective, our thoughts, where our mind is at all times. And if it's not where we want it to be, to bring it back and to start telling ourselves a different story and keep telling ourselves a different story until that is the new story. And this also ties into those feelings of being alone throughout this process. One thing I can tell you, Hannah, and everyone else out there who feels alone, you are not alone. There are so many of us going through the exact same thing. And you are never alone because no one ever is. Like I said at the beginning of the show, you always have a slew of divine and celestial guidance at your back, always there with you. So you are never truly alone. And I know that might not quite sit. And, some people might say, really, Erica, is that really true? And how does that make me not feel alone? But I tell you what, when you can get in that quiet space and feel those guides with you and feel that presence with you, you will know that you are not alone. And also understand the beauty of what being alone teaches you. It also shows you what a warrior you are. It shows you how strong you are because you chose to go at this without any help, because you know that you can handle it, that you can do it. And when the time is right and that mentor is needed for that advanced help, they will be there. But until that time comes, know that you are not alone, that you are strong and you got this, and you can just continue along your learning path, knowing that all will come in divine time, just like your email came in divine timing to me. It's just the way it works, and it might not make any sense, and we might want to have to figure it all out right in that moment, but that's just what makes it frustrating and creates more resistance, is the trying to figure it all out stuff. Well, we can stop doing that and make it easier and just let it be what it is. It's okay if I start a project and don't finish it. Maybe it's not the time to finish it, right? Now, if it becomes a problem and nothing is ever getting done, well, that's different, right? We need to have a different conversation about maybe what's blocking you. What are your personal blockages? What are your blockages to success, maybe, or to putting yourself up into a place of more responsibility even. It depends on what these things actually mean to you and what fears are involved. And so that's a bigger conversation. So I hope I was, in general, able to answer this for you, Hannah, and for anyone else listening who's going through the same thing. I just want us to all understand and know that we are all held in divine grace at all times. And while it may not seem like it at all times, it's always true. Always. The one thing I always see in a session when I go through with people, the one thing they always see and they're always told is how much they are loved and how much they are never, ever, ever alone. Ever. No matter how alone you feel in this life, no matter how many friends or family members or how loved you feel, by those people around you, no matter what, no matter how awful that may be for you, they are always told they are loved beyond measure and they are never alone. And because everyone is always told this, I know that that is true for all of you listening. It is true for all of us. We are all divinely held and loved. And with that, everyone, I think I'm out of here for today. I'm going to play you all one of my favorite tunes ever. And I know I've played it before, but I'm feeling it today for the theme of patience. And I know it was just a little theme of today's chat, but it came up. And so that's what I'm playing. I'm going with that flow, right? This is Rising Appalachia Novels of Acquaintance. Until next time, I love you all.
Also, before we cue up today's song, I wanted to remind you about the game with the universe on our website, where you can choose the first number that comes to your mind and it'll pull up that episode number of the podcast. I've been saying this is a great way to co-create synchronicity and magic with your higher self for quite some time. And if you go to positivehead.com/universe, there is a super fun and simple interface to play this game with your higher self. I firmly believe just by setting the intention to play in this way, it opens up the door for magic, and it's a synchronistic way to hone in on nuggets of wisdom out of the huge catalog of episodes that are specifically appropriate for you at this time in your journey to becoming the next greatest and greatest version of yourself. And it also makes for a super fun way to spark the curiosity of friends and family by having them choose a number, so they'll hopefully go and check out their number as well, which I greatly appreciate because it helps us to spread the word about the podcast. Once again, the address is positivehead.com/universe. And as a quick reminder, if you're curious to learn more about Purium superfoods and why I take them almost every day, be sure to also check out positivehead.com/transformation. On this journey of becoming the next greatest and grandest version of ourselves that we have all embarked upon, I cannot stress the importance of managing your physical vibration enough. And quite honestly, Purium has put together the simplest plan I've found to do so. I have my favorite, the appleberry shake, at least 5 times a week. Once again, to learn more about the Purium transformation, go to positivehead.com/transformation. Or if you want to keep it simple and just try out my favorite, the appleberry shake, you can go straight over to ishoppurium.com and be sure to use code positivehead for 25% off. I'll spell that for you. It's ishoppurium.com. And be sure to use your Positive Head 25% coupon code.
You over mountain moons, banjo riffs and fiddle tunes, and Sugar River, Stair Creek first, once now, twice now, every weekend. Lean in, beloved friend, bits of tender reel me in, and tip the cup and pour the rubies, wild laughter, lust and beauty, yeah. Find to me with patience. I'll write you novels of acquaintance. Yeah, find pretty little lover. You're the best thing I've discovered. It's a love song, it's true. No hints, no riddles, no clues. No threats, no strings, no bounding. Damn, baby, you make me grounded. Yeah. Fine, tune me with patience. I'll write you novels of acquaintance. Yeah, fine tune me with patience. I'll write you novels of acquaintance. I'd never be here without all your hands rejoice and shout. You who came broken, weary, sick, step into the clearing. Let this be a moment healing. I see you picture perfect. Rise together, lose no faith that I've got you.